What? Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. We're here. We're here. It took a
It
minute.
worked. It's fine. It's
It
fine.
took
Don't
a
worry
minute,
about it.
but we're here. We're here. We did it. We
Oh,
did it. Hello, world.
oh.
It is us. That
The
was.
sound's definitely coming through because I forgot that the stream wasn't muted, and so I was suddenly just like,
Yeah, twice as much. Yeah. So, hi everyone. We are. It's Sam and Shauntelle.
It is.
I don't know. Hi everyone. We're gonna play a game. Play a game for a little tasting platter. I came to Sam with an idea where we play a different game once a month for one shot. And here we are.
And I thought I'm happy to play a game.
Sounds like a good time. As long as we don't start, getting super antsy. If the rules are hard, I feel like that's a good reason not to play that game. And then we can just break out into talking about the game rather than playing the game. Because we're going to do that anyway.
Why did it not work? Well,
why isn't this working? Well, because of us.
It's also a great excuse just to like. I mean, I certainly there's like, a bunch of games. There's more games that I have an interest in than there are time to play games.
Correct.
As much as I like just looking at different systems and seeing how they operate, what they're doing, actually getting to do it is obviously better.
Absolutely. And that's exactly kind of the thought behind it. Is I have more games than I think I could ever actually play over the course of my life. And I'd really like to play some of them. Like some of them. It's like how many, like I have so many library books. I have so many books. I read so many books, but I also don't read many books and I own them. And so I just want to have said I've looked at some of it.
Yeah.
I put this music on simply because I've never played this game, but you have. And the game is Kiss Her Before the World Ends, so I thought, smooth jazz is how we get that happening.
We were talking about this before we started. I ran this for a local gaming convention years and years ago, and I can't remember how I heard about it, but I thought it sounded very interesting, so I put it down as the game that I would run. And then a little bit before the convention was happening, I realized that the book was like, now you should really do this with people that you're comfortable with because it can get quite emotional. And I was like, or strangers, right? That's fine.
Strangers or what?
And it was fine. Although I found out afterwards that one of the people wasn't told. I made sure to front load the information about this game can be really emotional. This is very sort of this is how it's going to be in the preamble for people selecting games. But one person hadn't read that. He just rocked up on the day and said, "What is there a free space on the table?" And they went, "Yeah, this one. It's about space, I think." And he turned up with no idea and didn't say anything until we did a debrief at the end. And he was like, "I don't think I was ready for this." And I was like, "Good on you for sticking with it, I guess."
Staying.
And I think he very much enjoyed it, but he was just like, "This is not what I thought was going to happen when I sat down." I was like,
"Yeah,
you were told space game. This is you, yeah."
You were told space game. That I feel like that is the sentence. You were told space game. Space game.
Like the fact that it's just the scenario in question, which is the one from the book, is set in space. It is not a game about being in space.
That's a mess. That's a mess. That's what that is. It's a mess. Let me see, because I've just realized we will need a timer. Let me just see. Hey, that works. Can you see that? Can you see a little timer?
Oh, in the call. Oh, I can.
Fantastic.
Wow.
You at home will not be able to see this, but we
You'll
can.
have to
I
you'll
can
have to
start
take
a
our word for
timer.
it.
You'll have to take our word for it because I know for a fact that this game has a number of minutes associated with the amount of time it takes. So this is a
It does.
limited. This is hard. This is hard for ADHDers. This is hard.
You have a set amount of time. It's different depending on different parts of the game, but you'll have a set time, and that basically says that if the scene hasn't ended by the time to count to 0, the scene just ends, and you have to be like, something happened that meant that you got interrupted, and it ended, and it's like,
Wow.
oh.
I mean, that's kind of what real life is like. So
Yeah, and we can talk about this obviously once we've actually tried it, but from memory, I was like, it's interesting that like I sort of like, yeah, it sounds, the whole time thing sounds interesting, and the fact that different things are at different times sounds interesting. And then actually playing it, I was just like, oh god, this is actually, all those times mean a lot. So
okay. All right. Well, I've set my phone to do not disturb, so I'm not disturbed. While I apparently bawl my eyes out, like I don't know what's
I
coming.
mean, not
Maybe I'll be
necessarily.
fine. Maybe I'll be perfectly fine. I don't have emotions. I didn't like the sound of that. Sam, can you explain this game in any kind of simple way?
Yeah. So the game is, as we said, it's Kiss It Before the World Ends. It's by Alice Grizzle.
Mhm.
I'm going to double check. I don't know if they're still on Twitter, but they were at
They were.
Tafcat _
Mm-hmm.
TAFKAT _ on, and it's a sort of a GM-less game. I think it's designed for 4, but they sort of say you can do it from like 2 to 4. You could do it without however many people, because everything's just about like, it's basically until everyone gets a turn, and then you move to the next phase. But the essential idea is that it's like you are in a situation where, it could be the world is ending, or like something is going to fundamentally change, and you can't affect that. You can't stop that from happening. And as you are getting ever closer to this end, which will fundamentally change or wipe out, like, what do you do? What are the things you do in that situation? And the idea is that each character will have needs that they will try to have met, and you'll essentially play out scenes and then decide were those needs met.
Mm-hmm.
They have, what are the 4 categories? Intimacy, empathy, escapism, and validation. You start with 3, with 1 being blank, and then partway through you sort of reset them and then add that 4th, what they call the unrequited need.
Yes.
And then you go through, and it's very it on the surface it's very simple. It's very sort of like, the concept is easy to grasp. Like, here are things you want to achieve. Do a scene. Did you achieve them?
Right.
But I feel like in practice it's very clever, in the fact that there's a timer, in the fact that the timer changes, and the way that what that means to the narrative, and how it yeah. And I'm interested to see how it works with 2 people, to be honest, because I don't think there's any reason it shouldn't.
Okay.
But
what are your thoughts? Do you think we should go with Australia's Breath, which is the provided?
I think that's the easiest one.
Yeah.
It's sort of I think it's sort of the game. It's a very small book. Like, the book's like 16 pages.
Yeah.
So
and
it doesn't go into
set out for a phone as well. Like, it's set out so you could read it off your phone.
It is, yes. Yeah. And like my one sort of complaint is that it doesn't have anything about building your own scenario. Like, it gives you all the tools. It basically says these are the things you will need,
Yes.
but doesn't sort of
take you
help
through it.
take you through that process. And so it's, like I said, like, it gives you a completed scenario as an example. It tells you what you'll need to play, so you can work it out. It's not, but it doesn't
it doesn't sort of take you through a character building process.
give you,
It doesn't
yeah,
take you through like a scenario building process.
no.
Like, these are things that would help you the most.
So I think it's just gonna be easier just to do. I don't even remember who I played
Okay, good.
in Astaria's Breath. So
Let's
I don't know if you have a preference for one of these four people.
I haven't read any. Well, I've read. So when you told me about this game the first time, I was like, well, I'm gonna go buy it, and I bought it. Came from Itch. It was great. Everyone's happy. And I read through it, and I was like, I want to play this so bad. And I'm fairly sure that was like 3 years ago. So that's the last one to this game. So, let's take another look. And I'm happy. You know what? I'm happy to. Do I have a D4? I don't know that I do. I don't know that I have a D4. Do you have a D4? Does anyone have a D4?
I don't.
I don't know why I'm trying to shoehorn dice into every single.
Yeah, in this GM-less, diceless game, there must be.
There must be dice. Roll D4. Google said 2. I'll play the second one. Who's that?
Right.
Maria.
I'll go with Jay, I think.
I am a physicist.
I forget who everyone is. All right. Yeah. Okay. So the scenario given for is as it says, Astaria's Breath, and it goes, you're the crew members of a research vessel named the Astaria's.
Australia. Looks
Australia's.
like.
Australia's.
It's Australia. It's
Australia's Breath, mate. It was in orbit around a small star that several unexplored.
Oh boy.
It was in orbit around a small star with several unexpected and violent solar flares overloaded the ship's shielding, causing many of the onboard systems to cease functioning, as well as exposing the crew to extreme levels of radiation. At present course, the ship's orbit will decay gradually until the star's gravity pulls the vessel in and it plummets to the surface.
Sounds like
great.
Tasmania.
Yeah, I feel like Australia is probably slowly plummeting towards the sun's surface. That sounds accurate to my experience.
That's how it works.
And then there's like 7 different locations. So when each person takes turns being the lead on for the scene, where you nominate which location the scene will take place. And I think you also normally you would nominate which other characters are there, but at the moment it's like the options are limited. And then you play through, and then there's a middle point where you lose access to some of those locations, and stuff happens. But that will happen as we go through. And then everyone has starting. Yeah, you got your starting needs, and then everyone will have an unrequited one, which will come up later.
Yeah, tell me what your. Oh, okay. What are the. Who did you say you're going to play?
I will be Jay. I'll go with Jay.
Okay. And I'm playing, as I said, Maria. Should we say what these characters are? Yes. Maria is a physicist, like her mother. Maria feels suffocated by the weight of everyone's expectations and joined the Australia's Breath crew in order to get outside of the lab and out from under her mother's shadow. Starting needs, intimacy, want to cook a meal for someone. Empathy, needs to vent out anger. Escapism, wants to celebrate the ship's 23rd birthday. I'm down for that. And then an unrequited validation need.
I do like one of the things they make the point of is like the category of need, I guess, is like how you want to have that need be achieved. But they make the point that you could really put any of them in any category.
Yes.
It would just be, well, that would define how you wanted that. You could have put you could put those in any order into any category. It would affect how you go about looking to fulfill that need.
I love that.
But Jay before was the captain, I guess. Before captaining this vessel, Jay was a shuttle pilot flying the commercial route between Earth and Mars. They decided to take up this job when their marriage started falling apart. They also have intimacy, empathy, and escapism. For intimacy, doesn't want to sleep in their bunk and be alone with their thoughts. Empathy wants to talk about their husband back home, and escapism wants to watch old movies.
I'm really sensing there's going to be like a good vibe of, hey, let's cook a meal and then watch TV while the world ends.
Look, we're gonna die soon. What do you want to do? I just want to watch TV.
I just want to watch TV while the world ends, please.
I mean, same.
Oh, it's too real. It's almost too real, frankly.
Yeah, God. It didn't hit quite as close to home. 7 years ago, whatever it was.
It's already too much for all of us involved.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I found a bit of space vibes. Technically airship, but it's fine because shit's going bad. How do we start? What's the first thing we do?
Just double checking. I think I go for person, whoever's playing like the first character listed.
Right. Okay. So for Act 1, we get 4 minutes. I will set the timer. So you don't have to tell me what
just like where we are and like what's, I guess, happening. I think technically you could do a scene on your own.
Okay.
Looking at it, because it says like you can invite other. Oh no, you do have to invite one other person. Sorry,
yeah, you invite one other, but may invite additional
that.
characters.
Yes,
if you wish. We will play additional characters as needed, I presume.
Skipped half that. Well, it's just. I think the idea is it is literally just the two of us.
Yeah.
Everyone else got radiated.
Oh, yeah. That's a shame. Poor Sandra in IT. Okay, what's
4 minutes? I'm just gonna look at the. Let's go with the observation deck.
Okay.
And just sort of like. I think Jay's just like looking out into space, and then like Medea may have just come from doing something else, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I'm out to observe as well. What else is there to do? Just like watch Doom approach.
You know, I always dreamed of going to space since I was little. And it was fine just doing those short trade runs, but I wanted to go out. I wanted to see.
Did you get to?
This was my first time. I didn't even come out for the right reasons.
Well, how do we make it the best possible time it can be?
Well, did you say something about it being the ship's birthday? Celebrate. Eat junk food, watch movies.
That sounds great. That sounds absolutely great. That sounds like a fantastic idea. What shall we watch?
I think. I don't know. Let's just put up a playlist of old movies. See what comes up.
Yeah.
Watch the classics.
Yeah. I could go for some Singing in the Rain.
Sounds great.
Wow.
I'll go get that. I'll go see what's available. I'll get that set up.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. That sounds good. I'll go clean up.
I think he just. Yeah, he turns. Goes to.
Goes to do that.
I was trying to get one of my needs done, and the conversation did not go the way I was expecting. I wanted it to.
What did you expect to happen?
I was trying to talk about the husband.
And
just got derailed. But if we will, I don't know if I don't know if because if the we've decided to watch all movies, so I guess I can tick off the escapism one, but we haven't actually done it, so I don't know if that's.
First thing is we haven't done it, and the second thing is, do you feel like that was escapism?
No,
like you
I think
anything.
But it's like I think it would depend if there's like if you in the next scene it's like we have already done this, or if it's like this is now a thing we're going to do. Like if it's
a thing we're in the middle of.
Yeah. Because in the same way, it's like if we assume that we have now done those tasks, then we have celebrated the birthday and watched the movies, or we do a scene where we are doing those things. But that's up to you, because you get to.
Up to me, I get to lead. Okay. Let me just see these. Okay. It's gonna be in the mess hall because I'm gonna cook, I think. I get to just say I'm cooking. I'm cooking and you're watching.
Yeah, I think you can. I think absolutely you can. I think absolutely that
You're not
works.
watching cook, but I'm definitely going to cook.
Yeah.
So in the mess hall, we're there. We're both there. And I think Medea's is busy chopping everything. Is actually just making too much food in the way of people just cooking too much, like more than is really necessary.
Yeah.
Um, how are you with spicy food?
Love it.
Great, because I put too much chili in this. I added too much chili. We don't have. There's just there are a lot of things here that I could play with, and I hope it works out okay.
Should be fine. Queued up the movie. They didn't have the
Right.
original Singing in the Rain, but they did have that one day, the remake from 2030.
Ah, nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Did you ever? Um, are you much of a chef? Are you much of a, do you cook?
No, God, no. That was always my husband.
Good at it.
Oh yeah, he loved it, and so I was more than happy because I was terrible. So I was happy to clean up. He was happy to cook. Though more recently, it was only in the nights we were both there, which felt like it was becoming fewer and fewer.
Where is he?
Back on Earth. He wanted us to move. There was a decision for his job, but it meant moving away from everything, and I likely wouldn't have as much of an opportunity to fly. And I wasn't. I mean, if I'm honest with myself, I didn't like the idea. I took this job, said it was the money. It would help us get set up. But really, it was because I felt like I was losing the opportunity to try to get to go out in space, actually go out into. And now I realize I think I was just running away. Didn't want to have the confrontation.
Oh yeah.
But you,
Hmm?
what made you sign up?
My mother is a very powerful and very well known surgeon and academic. And in order to keep up, I needed to do something different that was distinct, that would also get me research papers, that would also get me where I was trying to go. Don't really know where that was though. Oh shit! This is gonna burn. And then have to stop because stopped paying attention to the cooking and do not want things to get stuck. There's some quick scenes.
Yeah.
Move so fast.
I think you get the impression where it's like, oh yeah, 4 minutes is fine, and then suddenly when it becomes 3 minutes, you're suddenly like, oh no,
It's when you see the two and you're like, no.
I got plenty of time. I got plenty of time. Oh no, what's happening?
Mm. I feel like for Maddie, what they wanted was to um, get to know the last person they will talk to better. So I actually feel like the intimacy need is met.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Could argue the escapism because we are in the process of
Yeah,
that was all
just
in
doing a thing.
the so I feel like I got the empathy and the sort of culmination of the escapism between the two scenes.
Yeah. Okay. What is?
So having the fact we have both led a scene.
Mhm.
So we now move on to the flashback, which will be 5 minutes, and it's about their life before. Obviously, it's a flashback.
Yes.
It's before the end. So capital T, capital E. So whatever that means. But it needs the scene should be. Where is it? The scene should be to answer two questions. Why does this moment define you so much? And what need was unable to be met in your life before now that you still cling to? So you can't resolve needs, but you are defining what was previously the unrequited need. And then you can invite other people to play whichever characters you require from your previous life, which could still be the character they're playing now.
Yeah.
But doesn't necessarily need to be. And then if you timer goes off before the end of the scene, then you need to answer who or what pulls you out of the memory, and are you relieved, resentful, or something else entirely.
Oof. Exciting. Exciting.
Oof. If someone is talking when the timer goes off, the end claims a reminder of your past. What was it and how? Claims a remainder of your past. Good golly.
It just claims it.
Yeah. If someone is talking when the timer goes off.
So if the scene doesn't just end naturally,
Yeah.
it's gone. Something about it's gone. Okay, let's do that. Wait, it's you first, isn't it? That's the order.
Sure, that's fine.
Do you know?
I imagine it's. I mean, it's got to be the conversation with the husband about taking the job. I think. I think that's where their mind would be.
What's Jay's husband's name?
Yeah, it is Jeremy.
Jeremy. Okay.
I think they are having dinner in the moment. I got an offer today.
Oh.
To captain a research vessel. Not like a permanent position, but just for the duration of for the round trip. It's good money. It's really good money. But it would be longer than my normal flights. I think they're looking at like 6 months.
6 months.
Uh,
That's some time.
it is, yes. But it's a lot of money.
Do we need money that badly?
Well, if we're looking to relocate and establish a life somewhere else, Wouldn't hurt.
Is it safe?
I mean, it's research. They're just looking at some star, I think. You just sort of go there, circle it, come back. Most of the time is just distance.
I don't want you to take it.
I mean, this is my job.
I know, I understand. I just don't think you should. I think things have been off between us, and I don't think you going away for 6 months is going to make it any better.
This has been the thing I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to go out there. And when we move, and I'm looking forward to us starting that new chapter. But I won't have those opportunities. I mean, it might be the last time that an opportunity like this comes around.
There are always other opportunities.
Not most of the pilots who do that, who go out, are on retainer to companies. They're not brought on a per job basis. They're not. And once we move, the sorts of jobs that I will be locked into, and they'll be fine. Happy to do that.
Are you?
Are you going to be there?
Yes.
Then I'm happy to go.
No one was speaking. How does it end?
With tension by the feel of it.
Yeah, painfully is how it ends.
Yeah.
Do you answer the questions immediately? Why does this moment define you? Can I sneeze? Oh no.
We could also just do it in the assessment, which is next. I'm not sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Five-minute timer. I think it's going to be the last time that Medea spoke to their mum. I think it needs to be. Yeah. Oh. actually. I think I want it to be a conversation with Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a conversation with Jay, and um, at a time where they're kind of at loggerhead, they're head to head on it, because like someone crucial to keeping the ship in orbit has died or is about to die, and Medea's like is trying to prioritize their health over getting the ship back in orbit. But Jay, as captain, kind of needs Medea to focus on other things, is my thinking. Does that make sense?
So the person who had the knowledge to sort of keep them in orbit died. Medea is trying
Well,
to fill that role, but
yeah. So call him Ben. Ben, Medea knows enough about like piloting that they could pilot the ship, or at least help pilot the ship. Um, Ben is sick slash dying. Which do? Does that make sense?
yeah.
Um, sorry, I'm just hearing noises at my door and hoping that they leave. But maybe they don't. Anyway, let's hope they stay gone. Anyway, okay, 5 minutes starting now. Jay, give me 5-10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes, and I can. I think I can do something. I can help him. I can I can I can help him. Give me time.
What are you going to be able to do?
I, he just needs my undivided attention, and I don't know, a lot of blood, which we have in storage, but I have to get down to storage. Can you help me with this? Can you do something about this?
Can't go to storage.
I'm not losing another patient.
There is no path from here to storage that is not flooded with enough radiation to kill you before you reach the destination.
You don't know that. We will we we have suits. We have suits, and the suits can withstand a lot of radiation.
Yes, they can. They're very good. Top of the line.
Yes.
Excellent suits.
Yes.
And you will die before you get there.
I have to try.
You don't have enough people. I need your help on the bridge. If we don't stabilize the orbit, it won't matter. we don't fix that, the ship will be gone before anyone can come save us. And everyone will die anyway.
I'm pretty sure I can make it work. I can do that. I can do this. We can do this. Mum would know how to do it. My mum would know how to fix this. We can fix this. This is fine.
Can't fix it if you're dead halfway to storage.
We can't be the last ones. We can't be the only ones. What are we supposed to tell? What are we supposed to...
That we did everything in our power. That we made the ones that we could as comfortable as they could be made. And that we did everything we could so that their bodies could be returned to their loved ones. But we have to do it now.
This is just your job, huh?
Yeah. Go.
Just on the timer as well. What does this mean?
I think the end claimed a reminder of your past.
What is the reminder? What is the end? What is the reminder of my past? What does this mean?
The fact that it's capital T, capital E, I think the end is just the scenario that we find ourselves in.
Right.
Or the situation that we find ourselves in.
The finality.
Yeah.
The end claims a reminder of my past. What was it? What reminded me of that flashback? Okay, I'll figure that out. Hey, how did you go? Why does this moment define you so much? Now we go into the assessment
You're going to assessment, where we will replace any of our resolve needs. We replace them until we have the three needs again, but then we also fill in the unrequited need based on the flashback. And normally when you have multiple people, the only way you can resolve that is with someone who has already helped you with a need, which obviously won't be an issue here, but
no.
So I think that for Jay, like their flashback was significant because that was that initial conversation about them doing this.
Mm.
And I think it sort of planted the seed that like this was something that they felt like they really needed to do. Like this was like potentially their one chance. And it was like, despite everything else, like despite any misgivings, I guess, was just like that was the beginning of them being like, no, I really need to. And it probably led to them kind of just like putting their foot down a bit. Now they're like, it's clearly a mistake.
Yeah.
But it was like, that was that sort of moment. It's just like, I got really into their head about it.
Mm.
How about you?
I think the reason it defines them that much is that that's it's the realization that they are a coward, because at that moment they realized they would rather die than have to tell people's parents, their loved ones, that they were gone. They would literally rather be dead than have to have that conversation with people, which is a thing to realize. What need was unable to be met in your life before now that you still cling to? The need to be brave, I think.
What category is it?
Hmm?
What category was your unrequited need fall into?
I think it falls under validation. Yeah, validation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that's the new need. Replace my resolve needs until I have 3 needs of different types. Okay. Hmm.
Empathy and escapism.
What to do for intimacy? Gosh, my empathy one is just sitting there looking at me. I don't know if I can do that one, so escapism. Oh, how do I escape? What do I escape? Okay. I still don't quite understand the way that the end claims a reminder. Is it just that something happens in the moment that blocks it, the rest of the thought?
I think it's sort of like, because you are having a flashback.
Hmm.
So something to do with maybe something something happens on the ship, something goes wrong, another crisis happens that you sort of you have to pull out of that reverie.
Yeah.
But it also means that it's just like I guess it's like a stark reminder that like a stark thing that it's the whatever it was that reminded you of the past is gone.
I think what happened in that moment was the piece of the ship that had uh, the medical bay breaks off. And so we have a smaller ship now.
Which does lead neatly into the next step,
Oh, does it? Good.
where we pick a location that we no longer have access to.
Oh, really?
Yep,
Amazing.
because the ship gets smaller.
Oh, okay,
Well,
great. Each player declares one location inaccessible. Describes why. Yeah, the med bay is gone. Uh, Ripped off by an asteroid. The rest of um the ship is apparently okay, as far as Medea knows. But there was a moment. There was a moment.
I think as a result of like this thing pulling, like it didn't destroy any other parts of the ship, but it's meant that the lounge is inaccessible. Like it's now the radiation from the is that was being shielded somehow from like the ship, like the radiation shielding for that part was also gone. So the med bay is physically gone. The lounge is inaccessible because it's just
Right.
it may as well be gone.
Yeah. Fabulous. Awful. Okay. Okay. This is awful. Everything is falling apart, and I'm unhappy. Um, Act two. Should we take a break before Act two?
Sure, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. We will return. And we're back. Gosh, what a process. I'm gonna see if I can fix that. That's gonna be somewhere in those properties. There's no computer, so I don't know where.
All good. All good.
So before the break, we had Act 1. That makes sense for a break.
We did the Act 1, we did the flashback, and we did... What's the other thing's called? Assessment?
The assessment. The
Yes.
assessment of this current situation. I suggested in the break that we choose another location that's inaccessible. And
Like one each, or just one more?
one each.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? Like, how many more places what else could happen? I don't know where this game is going, but I just feel like we should have less space than more.
I mean, I know where it's going. Right into this star.
Oh! I didn't think about that. I have had complete what's the word? I've been in denial on that one. So, where are we losing? What is inaccessible?
What did we lose? We've already lost. So there's the seven listed locations. We've lost the med bay. We've lost the lounge.
Mm-hmm.
I think the observation deck as well, probably for the same reason. Like the lounge and observation deck, I feel like probably pretty close, and it's just like that side of the ship is just
Yeah.
It's just inaccessible.
I like the idea that like not long after we had that conversation in the observation room, it just got smashed to pieces.
Yeah, it's just like good. In a sort of way where it's just like, we could have just been there if we were just standing there at that time. That would be it. Just be
a minute or so difference, and we would
like,
we'd be dead.
Like, wow.
Wow, that comes at you fast, hey.
It's like, isn't that haunting? Good, cool, love it.
It really comes at you fast. Which would you prefer, just like to be gone, or like to fall into a star? These are the problems we're genuinely facing right now. The other place that's going to be gone is the engine room. Just to make a point,
Just yeah.
we can't go anywhere. We can't do anything. We are trapped. We are just waiting for our demise, apparently, at this point in time.
Fantastic.
So now we have the bridge, we have the mess, we have the crew quarters. We have comfortable spaces, is what we're saying here. All of these spaces are the comfortable ones. Right?
I mean, yeah.
If you're gonna go.
That's it is the kind of thing where it's like, even though there wasn't something anything we could do, but if there was, now we can't. It's like that's
there was nothing we could do before. We cannot now do anything. We have no navigation. We have no anything. Okay.
fun. And we've reset the needs. So I think it's just Act 2, and then you have a final moment.
Yeah.
So Act 2 is the same as Act 1,
Mm-hmm.
except obviously there are less locations.
And 3 minutes instead of 4.
3 minutes instead of 4.
Where are we, please, Captain?
I think Medea finds Jay in the bridge, and he's just sort of like, he was trying to do something, it's not working. So he's sort of walking in, and he's just like, damn it, shit.
What were you trying to do?
Oh, sorry, didn't. Got the idea in my head that there was maybe I could rig something that we could, so there'd be something to find.
Oh.
Just it's a way to let people know we were here, and no, we don't.
I'm sure someone knows we're here.
I mean, they know
last location.
we're here. They'll be able to figure it out. But I mean,
What would you say if you could record something and send it out?
I'm sorry. I should never have taken the job. Jeremy was right. I should have listened. I just wanted to. Part of me wanted me to prove to myself that I could do it.
Well, you could. It was complete random chance, fluke, you know.
Yeah.
Could have happened to anyone. Just so happened to us. That's all.
Doesn't help.
Is there anything at this time that you think would help? I don't think there's anything we could say or do that would help.
You're right. I think to punctuate that, some alarm goes off and they have to rush to.
Yeah.
But I got my validation.
You got your validation. What was the validation you were looking for?
That I hadn't like fucked up as pilot or captain and kept pilot slash captain.
So that was the bridge. We're going to go to the crew quarters where the new alarm that goes off is that the heating is down. So crew quarters, Medea's just going to be wrapping up. Like they're wearing all the clothes they could be wearing realistically. So just like getting blankets.
Yeah.
To like pile on. Not even intending to stay in this room because let me start the timer really. Not even intending to stay in this room because it's so closed in because it didn't need to be open and there's bunks in here plural.
Yeah.
And that's shit. That's super shitty. So not doing that.
Just pulling a lot of blankets and going to like the mess or something.
Yeah, that's the intention.
Sure.
Go to where there's food. We can't do anything. Why look outside?
You could probably restart the timer because the timer doesn't start until we actually.
That's true.
Until
we start
initiate the scene, I guess it were.
Yeah.
So I realized we're almost like 2 minutes. Like.
Yeah, I was like, oh, help, stop talking.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, pulling out blankets, trying to, and not particularly wanting to be in the quarters for any longer than you need to be.
Yes. Um, so it's just going to be the slow fade out. Huh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think if you'd
Well,
asked me before, I would have said I would rather it be uh, quick. But now if I find that I just want to hold on, I want to draw it out as long as I can.
I want it to be over, but
Without it being over.
yeah.
Tell me about your mum.
My mom,
Your mum.
she she engineered a lot of them. A lot of the work in the engine room was hers. A lot of the work in the uh med bay was hers. Her design, her um, things that she could do,
Wow.
things that she created. Her children, like her real children, you know. Um, she's great at everything. She's brave and she's smart and she's funny, and the entire industry loves her. Had to go off world to get away from that.
Well, I've been nothing but impressed by everything you've been able to do. So, and you're not the only one who ran from family. So,
Yeah. I don't think anything happens. I think they just run out of words. I genuinely just think,
that, yeah.
like, there is nothing. What else does one say at this point?
Did you hit any of the needs?
No. Well, actually, you know what? Yes, I'm going to say hit the intimacy need, which was don't want to face the world alone.
I don't say arguably I got mine as well, which is they didn't want to sleep in their bunk and be alone with their thoughts. When they've both just been like, I just don't want to be in the crew quarters. They both just like
Yeah.
left. So it's like that's not gonna happen. But I also got the empathy one was to connect with our family.
Nice. I mean, technically, I got the unrequited need, the validation need, but I don't know. We'll see. What's the what's next? Is it
Final moment.
the final
Each
moment?
player gets a final scene to narrate about their character at the end of the world. You may choose to have the scene with someone else, but you don't necessarily need to, and there's no timer.
Mm.
Uh, did you meet the end with few regrets as possible, or last moment filled with questions of what if?
Hmm. Do you have one?
I don't. I've got like, if you've got one in mind, I'm sort of debating, sort of bouncing between a couple of ideas. So if you've got something in mind, I'm happy for you to take the lead on that.
Okay, I'll go first on this then. I don't know whether. Let's see. Let me just check something. Oops. Okay. I think what. I don't know if Jay sees Medea doing this or if Medea does this by themselves, but um as it gets closer, the cold, I would presume, becomes hot, becomes heat, because you get close to a star. It's going to start getting hot if you don't have anything going on in there. Um, Medea doesn't. Medea regrets a lot, but not about talking to people, not about not talking to people. Medea regrets mm, the things that they could have done by themselves, just to be brave, to be courageous in the form of academia. Like they didn't try to get away from their mum's shadow. They could have stayed on Earth and put out research and under a different name, completely different name, see what happens. Um, could have done a whole lot of things, and so for them, it's a lot of could have, would have, should have done all of these things. But even then, on the ship, if they'd left Ben to die, would they still be dying? Is a whole question. Medea doesn't want to think about that. So, uh, mess hall and any and all alcohol. Um, I think Medea faces the end very much trying to drink themselves into oblivion before it comes.
Are they there just by themselves, or?
No, actually. And the answer is no, because I don't think they're brave enough to face it by themselves. Even at the end, I don't think they've kind of learned that lesson. So they would at least tell Jay, I think, that that's what they're planning on doing. Whether or not Jay decides to join them, that's
I think
what
they would.
the end is for them. It'll be pretty quick when it actually gets here. You know.
Yep.
We'll pass out before we have to experience anything. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. You know, I had you pegged for someone who'd been like doing this for a lot longer than you said you have been doing this. Yeah.
I mean, piloting I've been doing. Been doing that my whole life. But that was just trade commercial shuttles. Freight, that sort of thing, back and forth, just planet hopping.
Jay,
Hmm.
what's it like to love someone?
It's difficult, painful. Just struggle. But that with each hardship, each difficulty, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Jeremy was. He drive me crazy. He was very. Always had a plan. Things had to be a certain way, fit a certain schedule. Well, I literally had my head in the clouds. But where we were different, we were different in ways that complemented each other. Where we were the same, it made us stronger. At the end of the day, there was no one I'd rather spend my time with. Do you have anyone special?
Oh. I thought there might be for a little bit, but no. I guess I regret that.
Well, not a lot of point dwelling on the regrets.
Hmm.
What was that? God, what was that thing Carly used to say? Regrets are for other people. Such a dumb line.
Feels kind of accurate now.
Does.
Regrets are for other people. Wine is for everyone.
Wine is for everyone and every occasion.
Yes, correct. I think that's Medea.
I think there's a point where the drink, they drink and they get to the point where Medea just passes out at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay,
Can I just add? Because I was going to say it, and then I thought we would just swap to a different scene. If I pass out, just let me stay gone.
yeah, when Jay notices, he sort of gets up and he goes to the bridge.
And he hops in a shuttle and he flies away.
Turns out it's an escape craft. He just leaves. Yeah. No, he sort of gets in, just sits in his. He's got like a glass of wine or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he just sort of sits there for a bit and hits a button, hits some buttons, and he sort of looks out at the expanse of space. And he just sort of takes a sip of his wine and says, "This is Captain James Davis Miller of the Australia's Breath. Final log. Our orbit has decayed to the point where very soon the remaining heat shields will fail. I myself and Science Officer Medea are the only two surviving members of the crew. And I realize no one will hear this. There will be nothing left by the time anyone comes to check. But I want it to be a matter of record. That I had the privilege to captain the finest crew, finest people that I could have ever asked for. There is not a single person who did not do their job with diligence. There's not a single person on this ship who's not due commendation. And I will officially recommended for all of them. And all the while, various alarms have started up, various warnings. He's just ignoring them. You can see various equipment is just starting to fail. And then you sort of see like parts of like the actual structure of the ship is starting to like show signs that it's heating up, that it's and as the drift of the see looking outside, there's the glow is getting more and more intense as obviously the ship is shifting around. And Jay just finishes his drink. And that's it.
What a game. What a fucking game.
It is very good.
It's so quick.
I mean, with two people, as I said before, it's like it is going to fly with two people. But I do love the change in feel, like the change of intensity, which is something I didn't even when I first played it. I was like, oh yeah, it's 4 minutes the first time, 3 minutes the second time.
Yeah.
But it's like, no.
No.
It's 4 minutes the first time with 3 needs to meet. It's 3 minutes the second time with 4 needs to meet. And less options for how you can go about doing that. And suddenly it's like, oh no, this is actually really
actually though.
We are actually running out of time, and it becomes very difficult to actually.
It becomes a very
I was surprised I actually managed to tick off 3 of the 4. I was like, I didn't think I was going to be able to do that.
Did not. Hang on. What did I get? I'm going to count my final scene. My escapism wants to enjoy a glass of wine.
Yeah, I'd count.
Wants to. So I hit 3 of them.
Yeah.
Never vented anger. But it was
for escapism, I wanted to laugh until breathless, and it was just like that was a bold choice. That was
bold. That is bold. I mean, things were funny at 4. We were laughing at 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Act 1, we were laughing.
Yeah.
Act 2, no.
It was much more melancholy. I think as soon as we started, I was like, I've made a terrible choice. I'm not getting this.
Oh my. Okay. That was good. I enjoyed that. As a one shot, I'm yawning, but I'm yawning because I'm always tired, not because I'm tired right now or bored. I'm not. I'm just always tired. That was great. Would you play this again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the thoughts that, like, when I was trying to think about the scenarios, because obviously it's like any kind of like, in a similar sense of like something has happened and
yeah,
there's a very literal end. Like the ship is going, you're all going to die. The world is actually ending.
The world ending or something significant's changing. So like maybe it's like if you wanted to do a different version of it, everyone is going to like different universities or something.
Yeah, that was the first thing that came, was like the idea of like last day of school.
Yeah.
It was like the world is ending. It will be entirely different. Like everyone's going to different universities in like different states or whatever. And it's like
the group is breaking up.
And so it's not as like final, but it is just like you could do it that way, and
It's
you
end
would
of an
still,
era. You could do
yeah,
that.
as long as there is an end that is inevitable.
Yes. Oh, I want to write sets for this now.
Probably are. Like I've never actually looked, but I would imagine
I know some people
that
have.
you
I
could
didn't.
find scenarios for it. Like I'd be amazed if there wasn't a bunch just out there.
Yeah. I'm sure there are. Tafcat, tell me. Tell me. Tell me now. Tell me now. Let us know, but also tell me right now. Like, where are
That
you?
would be
What's going on?
that'd be a great thing to have. Just have a book of the scenarios. Just be like, there you go. Here is just
Oh yeah, and then you just pull one out at like
yeah.
random. Well, when we get over playing several games a year, so we can come back to this and play it one game, but a different scenario every single time.
Yeah.
Just how many endings can you tolerate before you're just like, stop? I've
Yeah.
had enough. We can try that. We could test that. Get a couple more people in and just be in pain every month.
Yeah, it's not it's there's not a tasting menu, and it's just like we're gonna play really just emotional, melancholy games. Because why
I
not?
mean, there's a lot of good one-shot melancholy games, is the thing.
Oh yeah,
Too many, actually.
there's a lot of good games just in general. Like that's the whole point of why we're doing this.
I don't know what we're going to play next time.
Oh, we've got
I don't know what we're after for next time. But I did go to Generation Games last weekend, which is a Sydney con.
I think something's happened with your mic. You're sounding like you're underwater.
Oh no.
Oh, we're done. It's finished.
It's back again?
It's
Okay.
fine.
I went to Generation Games, which is a con in Sydney, and
Oh,
I
fun.
picked up a few games while I was there. One of them, I met the designer, and I'm going to reach out to her and see if she will run a one shot for us, which would be nice because I saw her game and I was like, oh, what was it called?
There was a game I was thinking about. It was another one I played at a con like years and years ago. I think it was called Polaris. And from memory, I think there might be two games. I think I've looked into it previously, and there's like another game with a similar name. But it was very much designed to be played with 4 people because, like, oh, gosh, where you were around the table affected what you were doing depending on the scene. So, like, if it was, say, it was when I'm narrating what I'm doing,
Yeah.
the person sitting opposite me, they take on the role of any antagonists.
Right.
And then, like, I think it was like the person to the left is like familial connections, and then the person to the right. So it's like sort of like people you like allies or people you know, but it's like there's like your close family and loved ones, and then like other
And then
like
the other
just
people.
like political connections or like
walk-in moments.
Yeah, or like you're not like people who are allied to you, but like there was the thing about it that we were playing it pretty fast and loose, but it's mostly diceless. Like you essentially just narrate what you're doing, and you are this very powerful character.
I see.
But then the antagonist's job would be like, yes, you do that, but at the cost of this.
Right.
And then you could be like, agreed, but also this. And then once you get to a point where you don't agree anymore, that's when you roll the dice and you sort of see how it plays out. And the thing that I thought was incredible is that we basically, in like a 4-hour stretch, we basically did like a multiple year long campaign worth of like narrative. Like my character, from memory, my character got like exiled.